Hey guys, Namaste. Welcome to Click Talks by Chitravitika with the Bangshu. So this is a great session. We'll be going up and we'll be going to every wildlifer's favorite place. Favorite place is you can say it's a Makkah of wildlife, or it is the holiest place of wildlife that every wildlife on this planet dreams of. We are going to Kenya. And what is Kenya? I'll just say Jumbo Kenya. That's Hey Kenya, Hi Kenya, Namaste Kenya. And in Kenya, I would like to invite my friend from Kenya, Eric. Let's welcome him. Karibu Eric.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Namaste, India.
Thank you.
My name is Eric, like you said, and I'm a safari guide in Kenya. And I've been doing this for the last, say, 15 years. I do safaris throughout the country. And Kenya has a lot of other destinations. And Kenya has also quite a big population, not as big as India, I would say. But Kenya is comprised of about 42 to 44 dialects. And not surprisingly, but Hindu is one of them. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So how's your day?
My day was good. I was a little bit anxious, or I would say maybe nervous. How will the systems go? Being on the screen, although it is an advantage, I don't see the people behind. So yeah, I was really looking forward to sharing my experience and sharing Kenya with you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit jealous of you because
Yeah.
you stayed. I am a bit jealous of you because
Yeah.
you stay at a place where everybody wants to be there, and Eric is there the whole year. So I'm really jealous of you.
I really understand and I agree, because I would not give this job or as a safari guide to get for any other job. I normally say if somebody hired me to sit in an office, I think if I report at 8, by 12 midday, they have fired me, because I always want to move. I want to talk to people. I want to be out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Even we love. I'll say that we all love that kind of job. So you are the happiest man on the planet.
I'm very happy, and I would say I'm privileged. I'm privileged to move around the country and see the animals and share the country with everyone who wants to come. They're always welcome, and we're always happy to share our country with them.
Right.
Yeah.
So before we start our session for today,
Yes.
I would like to just a minute. I'll just like that Eric will be there sharing his experiences about Kenya and different parts of Kenya and whatever he does, wherever he goes, and he will share his pictures. Before that, I would like to thank Bhuvneshwar Photography and War of Lenses to be supporting us on these ventures. And you got Eric's number on the screen. If you want, you can directly talk to him or you can WhatsApp him on this on his number. In between, any questions are there to ask Eric. You feel free to question it here, and Eric will be answering it.
Yeah.
In between his photographs, he is talking about photographs. But now it's time to really go through this mystic place called Masai Mara and Kenya. So, Eric, I'd like my back office team to start with one of the pictures that's my favorite and yours favorite too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. This is northern Kenya. Northern Kenya. This is a game conservancy called Olpajeta. The rhino you see here is called Fatu. Initially, Kenya has this equator line passing through. So we have north and south. So the rhino that you see initially were found in Sudan, Chad, Niger, but I would say they were wiped out of their natural habitat. This rhino was they were about how many? Maybe 5 or 6. They were taken to Czech Republic, where they were conserved. But they thought, why not bring them back to something close to where they want in nature's way, in a natural place. So they brought them to Kenya in Olpajeta Game Conservancy. So unfortunately, when they brought them, they were 5. They were 5, but now they are about 2. This is Fatu, and I think the daughter is called Suni. So they're in an enclosure, very guarded, and this is where you drive and in a way you'd say you pet them because they were almost used to being handled by humans as opposed to being in their natural habitat. So this is Olpajeta had taken in some guests there, and Fatu came to say hi.
that's great.
Yeah.
So, you know, coming close to a rhino is a dream of everybody, and Eric does it every day, most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I am feeling jealous of you. I think I should stop talking. Like this show is yours, and you have to
Yeah.
speak.
Yes. And yeah,
Yes,
thank you. And other than Olpajeta, we all love Masai Mara. No, Masai Mara is just any other safari ends in Masai Mara. Masai Mara is just a place to be in terms of wildlife. But other than Masai Mara, we have Amboseli National Park, which is which has the best view of Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest point. Down east, we have Savo West, Savo East, Kenya's biggest national parks, doing about 21,000 square kilometers. Again, there the wildlife, there is plenty of wildlife. Up north, we have Samburu Game Reserve, which has again some animals that you will not find in Masai Mara, but you can actually find them in Samburu. We have Olpajeta, like we saw, and then we have the prize, Masai Mara. Masai Mara being regarded as the home of the wildlife, there is just a lot of game there. But saying that, it's not that when you go to the Mara, it's so obvious you'll just see the animals as you go in. You have to look for them because they're in their natural habitat. Yeah,
that's right. So we can come up with our session like the photographs. So I request the backup team to start with some of the photographs. Then we'll be talking to Eric
yeah,
on all of those.
yeah. This is a juvenile butler. This is still very young because the butlers, once they mature, they have some other colors, the black, the white, and kind of gray on the wings. So this was Masai Mara, and I was fortunate to get this juvenile butler eagle. Yeah, and then going back, this is Amboseli. Amboseli National Park, home to Mount Kilimanjaro, the elephants, and this is the bird. It's called Ruff, Ruff, and I should say it's migratory. Although I'm not really, it is migratory, and I think it comes to Kenya during September to April. And so a lot of times you'll find it. It's a water bird. You'll find it trying to get its feed in water, as you can see in this photo. This is one colorful bird, and this is called a superb starling. Starling is a big family. The starlings are about, I would say, more than 5 or 10, between 5 and 10. And this is a superb starling. Again, this is north of Kenya, Samburu, and you can see the thorns. This is every other photo that you see with the trees, trees like an umbrella. They're taken from the acacia. So this is an acacia tree with the thorns and with the superb styling on it. This is another bird of prey. This is called the auger buzzard. The auger buzzard, they come in two other colors. But again, this is Samburu, and it is a bird of prey, and I was very fortunate to get it because it is shy. Sometimes when you're just about to click the camera at close range, it'll fly off. Again, northern Kenya, Samburu National Reserve. And then next, in Kenya, we have Masai Mara, we have Samburu Game Reserve, and then this is Masai ostrich. From the male is a black and white with a pink. The females are normally gray. And going back to Samburu, we have Somali ostrich. This is pink, as you can see on the legs, but the Somali ostrich is blue. And when they're in breeding, it becomes really, really pronounced. Masai ostrich will become very pink, and Somali ostrich will be blue. And again, the fastest bird and the biggest, with the biggest brains. Yeah, this is the vulture. The, this is the vulture, the lappet faced. It was airing its wings, and this is known by us. Personally, I call it a surgeon. Any animal that passes on as natural cause, this vulture has to open it up first. And the vulture, it's a big family also. We have some other one called Griffon, and it goes down the ladder like that until we have the smallest that is called Eden. So this guy was airing his wings, ready for the evening. Of the birds of prey, the biggest birds of prey, I think that is the bald eagle in the US. In Africa, this is our biggest bird of prey, the martial eagle. The martial eagle will take on, in Kenya, we have the small antelopes, uh, deers kind of. So this one will take the fawns, the young ones. And we also have some other robins we call mongoose. This one will take it. And it has those intimidating eyes. Like if you see it clearly, you can see the really sharp yellow. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
This is now the mature butler. Remember when we started, we said immature butler, young butler. This is now the mature one. If you want to tell, they're very interesting birds because they pair for life, and their lifespan I think should be about maybe 70 years, and they pair for life. And the way to tell from a flight is they have very, very short tails. So This is one of very beautiful bird, very colorful, and you'll always see them in pairs. This is butler eagle again in Samburu. This is the long-tailed widow bird. They have a very long tail, and during breeding, they have the long tails to attract the female, to dance for the female. And after breeding, they drop off the long tails, because with the long tail, they are vulnerable. They would be picked up by any bird of prey. Yeah, this is a Olpageta, Olpageta Game Reserve. This is banana hornbill, or yellow-beaked hornbill. Again, this is Samburu Game Reserve, and the hornbill is a big family. Some with the yellow beaks, some with the black, gray, and we have some that we call ground hornbill. So the hornbill, this is one of the families of family members, and you'll find it again north of Kenya. This you'll not find in Masai Mara. This is, according to research, this is a griffon vulture. This has been recorded as the highest flying bird. I think what they got it at 37,000 feet, and the way they got it was that it collided with a plane. But
Oh my
again,
God.
yeah, but again, these birds, when you're in the Mara in the morning, you'll always see them roosting. So as the thermal builds, these guys start their day when the thermal builds. They will always be gliding, and in a way, during the wildebeest migration, you'll see the hyenas looking up. Once they see these birds, in a way, they have learned that where you see these birds gliding and dropping, then there is a kill. So in a way, it gives out the kills. If could be a hyena kill, could be a leopard kill. No, sorry, not a leopard, a lion or a cheetah. So this will always circle around there, and other predators will get word that there is something. So this is the griffon vulture in the Mara. This is the butler again.
Again, we can. So before we go for the next slide, Eric,
Yes.
I just need you to say me what will be the destination like from India, the nearest airport to reach you,
The
and
nearest.
what are the formalities?
Say that again.
The nearest airport to reach you. If I
To
want to
reach.
reach Eric, so what
Yes,
should be the nearest airport where I should take the plane?
that is. You should take a plane from your country, India, and
Yeah.
then Nairobi, Jomo Kenyatta. Because
Okay.
we have about how many we have: Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret. We have about 4 or 5 international airports, but the major one, and that the easiest to reach me, would be Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, that is in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
And what should be the formalities before, like after I reach there, what should be the formalities?
The formalities are, first, a valid passport, and
Yeah.
then you have a yellow fever injection from your country. Otherwise, you can get it at the airport. You can have anti-malaria, and now with the COVID-19, you should have been tested 76 hours prior to travel.
Okay.
Yes, those are basically the government required, and a visa from India to Kenya, which you can get it online, or you can get it on arrival.
Okay. Yeah, on arrival visas are also available.
On arrival at the airport.
Fine. And how
Yeah.
far is the destination from airport? How long?
To Masai Mara?
Yep.
To Masai Mara, there are two ways to do it. One can opt for a fly from Nairobi to Masai Mara, but that would mean changing airports. We have another
Okay.
small airport for local planes. So you drive from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the Wilson Airport, where you take a flight to Masai Mara. with arrangements. If we arrange transfers from the airport to the small airport, and then most likely you will find me in the Mara. In Masai
Okay.
Mara, we have about 5 or 6 airstrips. The other
Okay.
option would be
That's
to drive. To drive is about, say, 6 to 7 hours
yeah.
up to
That's great.
Masai. Yeah.
So there's the first question coming up for you is from Mr. Abhinav Punya, and the
Yes.
question is, what is the best time to reach? I mean the month, time, etc. So what is the best month to reach Masai Mara?
To reach Masai Mara, Masai Mara, if anybody is looking for the wildebeest migration, to see the thousands of wildebeests coming in, then that should be at the end of June to mid-September. That is what we call our high season. It's There's so many people because they all want to see the wildebeest migration. But other than that, any other time during the year, one can visit the Mara anytime, except if you're looking for to see the wildebeest migration.
So hopefully that was satisfied answer from Eric.
Yeah.
So one more question coming up from Mr.
Yes.
Vikas Mahanti.
Yes.
What should be minimum days required to explore Masai Mara? Even
Okay.
that's my question, Eric.
Yeah. To explore Masai Mara, to really
Yep.
have the feel, at least nothing less than 3 days.
The
Nothing
list
less than
is three
3 days.
days.
Not minimum. Minimum.
Yep.
But if you're in photography, which I love doing, then I would say 6 days upwards. Depending on how many days one can, 6 days upwards.
So, because sir, let's plan for at least 6 days with Eric.
6 days will be good.
That's fine. Okay, one more question coming up again before we go
Yeah.
for the next set of photographs. So it's from again Mr. Avinav Punya, and the question is, can can get some equipment like lenses, camera body, etc. on rent if not carrying personal equipment, sir? So can we
Uh,
get some lenses on rent?
uh, they're there, but I would really advise come with your gear. I would really, really advise that you bring your gear.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, yeah,
So more questions will be coming up, Eric.
yes,
So okay, and one more question again from Vikas sir, and it is like, are you doing the guided visits?
yes, I am, and that is now my job now. I'm a safari guide. That's exactly what I do.
So I'd not say you as a safari guide, but I'll just say you as a wildlife advisor because
Uh,
15 years of experience matters like anything.
yes, we really, I'd want to say yes, we do it. We do it like, we give our opinion regarding what we see in the game reserves and national parks. We give our opinions to the relevant authorities. And so if there is anything, they take action from there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'll ask like our for them. Yes, again some photographs are coming up. Let's.
Yeah. This is the gravy zebra. Gravy zebra, you'll only find it in northern Kenya. You go to Masai Mara, that's another type of zebra. This one has very thin stripes compared to the one that is a bit wide over stripes. And this one is much bigger, just about the size of a horse. So this is
Okay.
gravy zebra, basically northern Kenya.
I don't know.
This is a wood agama. It's a big family. We have quite a number of them. This is blue and green. We have another one, a rock agama. So basically, this one you find it on trees. Yeah, wild dogs. This is Now their numbers are very threatened. Wild dogs are very threatened. There is a lot of talk about conserving them because these dogs normally move. They do not sit on one place. So in a way, as the population is increasing, there is a lot of the land is being divided into farms and everything. So these guys will go into a farm and pick the farmers' goats and sheep. So they're very much threatened. The habitat is shrinking. But yes, these are the wild dogs, and a lot of times we see them in northern Kenya again, and eastern east east of the country, Savo National Park. We see them, but the best place to see them again would be northern Kenya. This is another special animal. It's called the Gerenuk. The Gerenuk is known not to drink water. It gets its waters from the vegetation. And again, this is a male. Female Gerenuk do not
Okay.
have horns. Yeah, female Gerenuks do not have horns, and we find them in the northern Kenya. We'll find them in the southeastern Kenya, Amboseli National Park, Savo West, Savo East. So one would almost mistake them for what we call impala. Impala is another. It's just about the same color, but this one basically stands on its hind legs, and you can see it's a browser. It browses, it never grazes, so that's why it's standing on its hind legs.
That's
So
really amazing. I haven't seen something like that.
yeah, should, should visit Samburu. You'll see them. They're there. This is a Cape buffalo again. This is Olpajeta Game Reserve. This was also in the category of the Big Five when there was a sport hunting in Africa or in Kenya. This was considered as a Big Five, and this is a male. If you look at the horn where they meet, where there is that bud, it's what they call the boss. It's huge. It's well built, so to be able to defend the herd and fight. And there is a saying that they say if you shoot with a pistol on that boss on the in between the horns, the bullet will not go. So this is a male buffalo in Olpajeta Game Reserve. This is what we would call, if you look at the horns, they're spiral and they're long. Yesteryears, many those before the coming of the English, the horns were used as to pass message. Like they would get horns, make a hole on it, and blow it like a trumpet. So a boy would be required to take this and run around the village, blowing it, and it would bring the attention because the sound would be like a complete like a trumpet. So this is what we call the greater kudu. Again, they're very rare. They're very rare. There is greater kudu and lesser kudu. So lesser kudu is much smaller. This is greater kudu, and again, this is Samburu Game Reserve. This is the hippo. This again, this is by the banks of Masai Mara, the Mara River, and this is the calf and the mother. They had just come out of the water. And again, in Africa, we have two types of hippo. We have pygmy hippo, and we have this common or greater hippopotamus that you find around East Africa. So pygmy hippo is West Africa. It's much smaller, and this is known to kill so many people in Africa. And the
Oh my
reason is,
God.
and the reason is because it feels so threatened when it's out of water, and people have to go and fetch water in the rivers. And if it's out of the river, then it feels threatened and it attacks. And that's how they kill a lot of people in Africa because they wander off. They will leave the water and wander off for about 6 kilometers to graze because they're herbivores.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are very territorial also.
Sorry.
Hippos are very territorial. They don't like anything to come near them
Yeah, they're territorial in water. The bulls are
in
territorial
water.
once they're in water, but once they're
But
outside, it's everyone for themselves.
Okay, that's great. So
Yeah.
one more comment coming up for you. Like it's a good video. Thank you, and thanks, Eric from Mr. Yoganathan Natarajan.
Sorry.
There's a thanks for you from Mr. Natarajan.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. I see it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me tell him Asante sana.
So Asante Sana is thank you very much in
Yes.
Swahili language,
Yeah.
national language of Kenya. So somehow I am able to understand a little bit like Eric speaks, and I come into that.
Yeah.
So Swahili, I'll soon learn Swahili before going to Masai Mara.
Y- That is another agreement that we have. Swahili and lunch at my place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one more. Okay. So there's one more question coming up for you
Yes.
from Mr. Jonathan Rao. Is
Yes.
it possible to plan Masai Mara and Serengeti together?
It is very possible. One would there are two ways to do it, and the way we do it is we go to Masai Mara first. There are two options. We fly to the border town and then drive into Tanzania and then fly into Serengeti. That is one option. The other option is drive from Masai Mara to the Kenyan border, and then we hand you over to a Tanzanian safari guide. Because we used to go there, but there is a little bit of conflict between the two nations that we should operate from our side. They should also the Tanzanians should operate from their side. So we go up to the Kenyan Tanzanian border. We do the formalities, check the visa, and stamp the passports, and we hand you over to our colleagues in Tanzania. And then they take you through the Tanzanian side, Serengeti, and everywhere, Ngorongoro Crater. There are two other options while someone is there. They can fly out from Tanzania to their country, or they can decide to drive back to another border, Kenyan Tanzanian border, and then fly from Nairobi again. So it is very possible, and it's something that we normally do.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. So one more question up. Very nice initiative. Kudos to Chitravitika. Bravo. Thank you, Pramod sir. And it is from Mr. Pramod. So very soon, thank you, Eric, for the
Yeah,
informations, and we'll be continuing with the photographs. But before that,
yeah,
okay, there's one more photograph coming up. So we'll be having a special guest with us very soon.
yeah.
So before that, Eric, please say about the photographs.
This is a Masai giraffe. In Kenya, I would say we are very fortunate. We have three types of giraffe. We have Masai giraffe, the one that is on the screen. We have Northern Kenya again, Samburu, another special giraffe, reticulated. And Western Kenya, we have, sorry, my battery is going down, but Western Kenya, we have another giraffe called Rothschild. Rothschild giraffe was, in a way, it was threatened, but there is a lot of effort that has been put. So Rothschild giraffe, the numbers are going up, and this is Masai giraffe, and all these are males. Male Masai giraffe. Look at the horns; it's like a little
Okay.
bit shining. That is a male giraffe. Yeah.
Okay, so Eric, we'll take a pause. I'll be
Yeah.
inviting a special guest for you. So
Yes.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Avinash Kar, who is a photographer who has traveled across the world. So I'll invite Mr. Avinash Kar. Hi Avinash,
Hey.
Hey, hi Devanshu. Hi
how
Eric.
are you?
Hi.
All good, all good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, we are. So a few words from Avinash.
Yeah, so I'm seeing images of Mara and Africa and missing it big time. Had things been fine, I would have been probably there a month back for a couple of days, if not weeks. But yeah, stranger times. All I can see is still images on the screen. Miss
Yeah.
it really badly. Hopefully next year things would sort it out. Let's see.
Uh,
So, yeah, Eric. I need you both of you guys to speak.
So yeah, the photos are there, and again, I hope things open up, and you'll be back to Mara. Mara is, I would say, a lot of people get addicted because
Absolutely.
yeah, you go get good shots, and it runs in the veins.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So you take good shots and they become great
Oh
because
yes,
of the scapes and the open grasslands. I mean, the
yes,
vista and
yeah,
the scape is so grand and so photographer friendly that it really helps build or helps any newbie or any experienced person per se across the spectrum to build a very strong portfolio in terms of growing as a photographer. The scope there is immense, and the whole and the people, especially even the people and the wildlife put together, is it's very welcoming and warm. So you get a sense of belonging there. I mean, the whole feeling of a piece of you staying back in Africa is something that can be experienced. You cannot exactly describe it in words, if you ask me. I believe the
so
short rains in November have already started. I believe Double
okay,
Cross and all are getting flooded.
yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
The short trains are on, and double cross is I would say the last time you are here, I think double cross you are going through in the water. But now
Yep,
double cross, there is a bridge to go and look for Kaboso and
yep.
Papit. Did you get a chance to meet
I know.
Papit? Yeah,
Yes,
you,
yes,
you read about him the other day.
yes, yes, yes.
You read he
So
passed on.
he passed away like a king, gracefully in his. I
Ye-
believe
Yeah,
he was around Motorogi,
yes,
and yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That was his area of patrol,
Yep, yep. Now
and
it's all on Olbernati to take over the pride now.
yeah, and these are the pride of Short Tail and his. You've met Short Tail,
Yep.
Short
So
Tail, and yeah,
yep, yep.
and you've also met Kaboso,
I've met Caboso, both the male,
and
female. I missed out
yeah,
on the Cubs though, but yeah, that's for a different day.
the Cubs. We have Cubs, and you've met Luluka,
I've met Luluka for way
and
too many times now.
yeah,
So Luluka, Siri, Caboso.
yeah,
Siri was difficult, particularly tracking
yeah,
her a couple of times
yeah,
in the same year
yeah,
in
yeah,
different seasons. But then,
yeah,
thankfully, I think it was last year,
yeah,
August.
yeah,
I was fortunate enough to find her close towards the Eden side.
yes,
I mean, that's her area anyway. So
yeah,
yeah, she was on a sausage tree.
yes,
It was a clear view, and we were the only vehicle for the initial couple of minutes before
yeah,
in the wireless
yeah,
the others started joining in. Yeah, it was spectacular.
and split nose.
Split nose
You've
have
had,
been hit and miss most of the times.
yeah,
I've not been
yeah,
that lucky. I've seen, but then I don't have
yeah.
decent images or keeper images
Oh,
per
okay.
se. Yeah.
And Amani and the collision of the five cheetahs.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Uh,
I've seen the
yeah,
Tanobora multiple times. Like
yes,
back in 2016, 2017, when they were just starting to form the coalition.
yes,
And
yes,
so 2017 November was spectacularly great
yeah,
with Tanobora. And
yes,
day one, when I had landed in
yeah,
Mara, it was
yeah,
Imani's. That time, the sublitters of Imani, we saw a
yeah.
hunt just before when we landed in Old Kiombo and driving down
Oh,
to
yeah.
Entim. I was staying in Entim back then.
Oh, yeah. You're staying at
Yeah,
Antim, another
yeah.
nice place.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
So
yeah,
I'd like to interfere, both of you guys. Sorry to interfere, but
yeah.
Avinash, I'd like you to give the answer of the question that is popped up on screen. So you are a better person to give an answer for this.
Sure, sure, Devanshu. Hey, Vikas. Very good evening. What are the photographic gears, like the types of lenses and accessories required? So, Mara, it's like I mentioned, it's a photographer's paradise. You can create wonders with a 400, 500, 600 prime, and you can also have a beautiful habitat image or a vista image with a subject and a acacia tree in place with a 2470. So I think I would suggest what I generally carry. So I carry my D850 and D5 with a 400 and a D850 with a 7200, and I also have a 2470 as a third backup lens. So most of the times I'll be either, if you want portraits, I shoot wide with 400, by the way, Devanshu. So that is the beauty of Mara. Like, you can, people take their vehicles close to the subject. I take my vehicle away from the subject. So that's, I believe, is varies from photographer to photographer, and that's my style. How I include a little sense of belonging of the habitat. So yeah, because so I think one prime and a mid-range telephoto should do most of the work, but also carrying a small wide angle like a 2470 will give you really wonderful habitat images, landscape images there, because the sunset and the colors during the sunset and sunrise is absolutely brilliant in Mara.
And also to
Thank
add to that,
you.
I think the number of days really matter. Like we said, maybe minimum for photography would be maybe 6 nights or more. I think the number of days really matter, so that if you get a sighting, normally because they're in their natural habitat, they might be on a tree, on a sausage tree, and the head, say it would be a leopard, the head is facing the bushes. So basically, you have to really be patient and be ready to sit there and probably go and come back again there before you get that really nice shot. So the number of days really matter.
Yeah, I think I feel grateful that both of you guys are there, who are practically true sound, like you guys are like God for me, because you need to answer it, Avinash, because you have been to Mara and you know better, because I have traveled across like in Odisha. So
Yeah.
Vitakanika is my sphere of work or Mangla Jodi, but you're the right guy to answer this.
Yep,
So
yep.
thank you.
So absolutely. So Bhitarkanik and Mangla Jodi are absolutely great places for sure. Eric, if given a chance, you should be visiting this part of the world. Those
Yeah.
those two places that Devanshu named are a treasure of biodiversity in the eastern part of the country, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, like Eric mentioned, 5 to 7 days would be ideal if someone is starting up, because the, like he mentioned, again, the wildlife, sometimes what happens, you would be caught up in a situation where either the leopard is, you don't get a clear face, or they have a kill or something in a bush and they have been hiding, or you waited, especially during the migration season, you waited at the main crossing or at the Antim crossing and the crossing never happened. So it's always advisable that you have a couple of days in hand. If you're doing a 2 day, 3 day, first of all, if you're going that far, doing a 2 day will be short enough, not worth the amount you'll be spending going and coming back. So it makes sense to have little decent number of days at hand, so that the hits and misses, like, it is part of any wildlife trip. So if you are not able to get a good photographic situation on day one, maybe since you have couple of days in hand, probably you can try it on the next day or the day after that. So yeah, I agree with Eric, because normally when we do a trip, we go there for 6 to 7 days. I generally spend a night in Nairobi because I have friends there. So we probably chill, and then next day we fly out of Wilson to Old Kiombo, or wherever we're staying, basically in Mara. Yeah.
So that was a nice information. But okay, thank you, Avilash, for giving your time. And we know a big day is coming up for you. I just heard from my backup team,
Yeah.
and congratulations in advance.
Thank you, Devanshu.
So thank you for making out some time for us, and
Yep.
so thank you for being on Click Talks and
Thank you.
Chitravitika.
Thank you, Devanshu. Thanks, Eric. Enjoy your evening, guys. Bye bye.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yep.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah.
So again, Eric, it was a nice way we could
Yeah.
interact with. So we'll go for the pictures once more.
Yeah.
But before the pictures, Eric,
Yep.
any story that happened to you? Would you like to
Uh,
share any story in the park? Maybe an encounter with a lion or a leopard or a cheetah. So you can say a bit about the story. So
so yeah, there was this incident some time back ago whereby that is northern Kenya. There is a conservancy called Lewa. There was there were buffaloes, the African buffaloes. I don't know about the Indian buffaloes, but the African buffaloes move in herds. You even see 200, 300. So at some point I
Okay.
stopped. Yeah, I stopped. We stopped and we were basically observing them. Then out of nowhere, I picked a black rhino, say a kilometer from where we are. Rhinos are not known for their eyesight, but this guy kept coming, and he kept coming until when he got so close to us, he charged. That was something very unusual because from the distance, they are known not to have a very good eyesight. But what attracted him to us, I really do not know. So he charged, we had to take off. After maybe 30, 40 minutes, we encountered this huge male elephant. He was unmasked. And once they're unmasked, those are fellows you do not want to get near. So this guy, we approached, we were like, we saw him head on, but he kept walking towards us. I backed up, I reversed, he kept coming. I turned the car, he kept coming. He followed us for about, say, 10 or 5 minutes. So those were some of the incidences. But like any attacks are not really.
Okay, now
Because,
I just say not about attacks, but these are
yeah,
some close
yeah,
encounters.
yeah,
So there are certain questions are coming up before we start with our session. It is from Durgesh Kumar Singh,
yeah.
and Durgesh Bhai says, "Good, great initiative, Bangshubai. Thanks, Eric, for the info on on the Mara. Would plan a trip soon once travel situation improves and cheers." So Eric, I think Durgesh is planning.
He's very much welcome. And if anything, his my number is there, my email is there. I would be of even if I don't do safari with him, but I am very willing to give information and assist in any way that I can, and also recommend, you know, what to do or where to stay.
Yeah. So everybody will get the information like Eric is there. And there was one question for me also. It
Yeah,
was from my elder brother. Like he
yeah.
said, "Yeah, my looks are good." Yes, brother, my elder brother, Mr. Vijay Mudali. And thank you. Eric, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah, these were the same Masai giraffes that you find them in Masai Mara, Amboseli, and southeast of Kenya, Savo National Park, and Savo East and Savo West National Parks. You'll find this type of giraffes, Masai giraffes. That is again another Masai giraffe walking in the plains in the open grass in Masai Mara. Again, Masai giraffe drinking water from one of the season. We have a lot of water places in the Mara. We have so many rivers and so many underground streams that just springs that come out from the ground. So the animals really do not need to go to the Mara River for water. And Masai Mara is about 1,510 square kilometers. So within that, there are so many other water places. And again, to do with Masai Mara, we have conservancies. The local community have leased their land for conservation, which makes the Greater Mara 4,000 square kilometers. So in this, you'll find all these animals. There's so many water places. They really do not have to go to the main river for water. This is the reticulated giraffe north of Kenya, and I'm not sure if you can tell the difference now. You can see the really straight up lines on them. So
Right.
these are reticulated giraffes in Samburu. These are these are common zebras in Masai Mara drinking water. And during this, when I took this photo, there were actually about 100 or 200 on the other side of the river that we were really waiting for them to cross the river. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to really be patient. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens. So these guys came drank water. We were hoping they would cross, but they didn't. So I got a chance to take this common common zebra. This is the common zebra, as opposed to the other one that is the gravy zebra with the thin stripes. This is the same zebra, common zebra. This was again September. This was during the migration, and they were up on a rock, and I got this opportunity. And so during the migration, there's so many, about 400,000 of them come in and go. You'd be surprised. Maybe in March, if you come, the number of zebras you see are countable because they also migrate following the wildebeest and for pasture and everything. So this is a common zebra. Same common zebra crossing at one of the seasonal rivers, and this they were drinking water. And out of this river, they have we have a salt lick place. So they take their salt and then come into the river for a drink. And these animals have nature is very balanced. Sorry, this is Amboseli. This is yeah. The animals are very clever because sometimes you look at them, you'll find we humans have gone out of the circle because they have a salt lick place, and you'll find zebras when they graze, they have like 20 different types of vegetation to eat. Another animal has five. Another animals have has got like 10. So they all live in harmony. They share whatever is there. And the next one was this is the wildebeest. This is in Amboseli, and Amboseli is the best place to view Mount Kilimanjaro and the big herds of elephants. And so this water seeps out of Mount Kilimanjaro from into Kenya from underground, so creating these swamps. And so this wildebeest was crossing one of the swampy places in uh, in Amboseli. This is Mara River. This was an early morning during the migration. Sometimes you find herds of wildebeests, big herds. The numbers are big, built on the other side of the river, and then that is when you think, okay, these wildebeests will cross. But before they cross, there are hippos, there are crocodiles, but hippos do not take on the wildebeest. Crocodiles do. So I got a chance to take these young hippos sparring. This is Poseli. These are two teenagers who are coming from the trees, like you can see the background. Amboseli is flat, plain, but during the evenings, the elephants will retreat to the trees just below Mount Kilimanjaro. So these guys were coming out of the trees, and I think they were having that good morning uh, greetings.
Okay. So one more question, one more compliment coming up from Preeti Patnaik. It's so beautiful, dream destination. Thanks, Eric, for the information. Thanks, Chitravitika, Jitin Bhai, and Devanshu Bhai for such initiation. Thank you, Preeti. Let's
Thank you very
continue.
much. Thank you very much. This is Somali ostrich. This is Samburu. I've been lucky because every other time I've gone to Samburu, I saw this ostrich. The first one is actually their mother. So I saw this ostrich with the chicks when they were very small. And I've been following them each time I go. I was very lucky until again, this time I thought, okay, let me just take a photo of them because they now matured. And this is Somali ostrich in Samburu, northern Kenya. This is again the gravy zebras. Like
Yeah,
if you
but this is where we started from.
yes,
So, Eric, just a question like that came up in my mind apart from wildlife.
yes.
What are the other things like culture, people? Uh,
Yes, Kenya is very diverse culture-wise because, like I said, we have 44 dialects, Hindu included. So every other dialect or tribe, they had their own way of living. If you go north, you will find what we call the Samburu people. The Samburu people are the cousins of Masai. Their way of living is just about the same. But you go to like Western Kenya, we have uh, we have what we call the Luo. Obama's dad came from that region, southwest of Kenya. So again, there the culture is very. We have very diverse culture, but again, we live together. This like we have. There is again a lot of intermarriage, but once you're in Kenya, the other places to see culture would be Samburu, Sai people, because they still live in the way they did. But these other parts of the country, they, they are more developed, so to say. Yeah.
okay, that's great. So, we'll go for the next pictures because my dream is not over yet. This time, these are predators coming up soon,
Yeah.
and I got a very big smile for these predators.
This is Olpajeta. Olpajeta is a game conservancy. Again, someone came up with this idea of conservation and talked to the local community. He has leased the land. So in Olpajeta, he's also doing cattle rearing. He has cows in the conservancy. And so we came across these two leopards, and this was a mating couple. This was a mating couple in Olpajeta, and we were so fortunate to find them sitting side by side.
So, in between, there's a compliment again from Mrs. Sunila Padi. Thanks for a wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, this is you can see the nests of the weaver birds next to the leopard. And again, this was Samburu. Samburu is another good place that one can find the leopard. And after looking for this fellow, it's a female. We know I've seen her for quite some time, and I think up to last month she has two cubs. So this is a leopard in Samburu Game Reserve. So if you look at this guy, his tail is his he has a half tail. We call him half tail. From what the information I gather about him and his brother came from Serengeti, and on the way they passed through the territories of other lions. So in that, as they were passing, there was a fight, and that is why how he lost his tail. But now he's big fellow. He has his territory and is known as a half tail. And again, Serengeti and Masai Mara, geographically, that is one area, but because of the countries we have Masai Mara and Serengeti, but geographically, like I said, it is one country, and the animals move in and out of Serengeti as they please. But for we can't. There is the normal procedure restriction. So this guy came from Serengeti, and now he's dominating his some part of the Mara. It's known as half tail.
Even it looks great.
This is Amboseli. Again, this is a collision of two male cheetahs. These guys are good. They get their prey very easily. And yeah, this is the cheetahs in Amboseli Game Reserve National Park. Amboseli is another nice place to visit. So yeah, this is evening. We followed. This is actually the first leopard that we have seen on the nest. This is this is her, and it had a young one. So she got an impala and taking it up to stack it on top of a tree in Samburu. This is the Mara. This is what this pride. I'm getting the name, but the pride has about maybe 15. The last time I saw, there were about 18 of them. So these are two female pride members. And there was one thing that I did with this. I followed this every other time I've gone to the Mara. I was able to see it, lucky to see them. And if you can see, the one on the left is slightly darker than this. I think melanin production or something, but you could almost tell the generation down the line. So this is again another pride in Masai Mara, and you can see she was lacting. The teats are showing. You can see that she was lacting, and here they were out looking for a prey. This is a legend. This is one of the most photographed lions in Masai Mara. He's known as Scarface. If you look at him on the screen, the left eye is not missing, but it got these injuries fighting with the brothers or another pride. So he almost lost his eye, but it's still there. So this is a legend. Anytime anybody wants to come to the Mara, there is a lot about Scarface. But last week I was there, he was not really looking good. He has his brothers, two brothers. One is called Hunter, and the other one is called Skio. So they form a coalition, and they have dominated the Mara for quite some time. But for now, let me say they're in their sunset years. So Scarface, anybody you can Google Scarface, you'll find him.
I thought that was a movie character in Lion King.
No, this is Scarface, the actual lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people say hyenas are the ugliest. But if you do a safari and you don't see a hyena, you'll definitely want to look for it. They have a way of taking care of each other. And a lot of people say hyenas do not hunt. Hyenas are very good hunters, how to fend for themselves. Only that when they need to get something, they'll get it from whoever they want because they move in numbers. And again, this was a young hyena. Normally, when they are born, they have black, but this one has black and white spots. He has spots. So this is still a young one. And yeah, it is one of those things that you do not want to miss when you're in the Mara. In this same leopard. Yeah.
So it was too nice.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of discussion and still going on. So Eric,
Yes.
uh, any other information like people should think about before going?
Yes.
We are
This
there
is
for
a
the
sunset.
landscapes.
Yeah, this is sunset in the Mara. Sometimes the sunset is so beautiful that everything turns orange. So this is the one of the sunset times in the Mara. And I've seen somebody's asking, give him some time to explain different parks. Oh, sorry. This is the eland. Eland is the biggest of antelopes we have in Masai Mara. They're very shy, but very good looking. And these guys move in herds. But like I said, yeah, very, very shy. This is one of the sunset types in the Mara again. And the park, I've seen somebody give him some time to explain different parks. Oh, Mount Kilimanjaro, a scene from Amboseli. Anyone who wants to see Mount Kilimanjaro, then Amboseli is the best place to see. It is actually in Tanzania, completely in Tanzania, but the view from Kenya is stunning. In these photos, at the base, that is where the elephants go to have their evening before coming back again to Amboseli National Park. And I think there is an elephant, if one can see, there is an elephant completely below. Yeah, next. This is the migration. This is September when we had the big herds of wildebeests that had just come in to the Mara from Tanzania, grazing around, and then by September, October, mid-October, they are gone, and wildebeests are known to follow the rain pattern. So they follow the rain pattern for them for pasture. That is the
Now
site.
that's truly magical. That's truly magical.
Yeah, thank you.
So one more compliment coming up from Bhuvneshwar Photography. Fantastic
Thank,
shots.
thank you very much. And let me just say, let me talk about Masai Mara is the best place for photography, the landscape, the lighting, but also we have national parks. Let me start by down east, southeast. We have Savo National Park and Savo East National Park. The elephants there are, in a way, you would say they are red color, but that is because they wallow in the soil there that is red. It is comes red because it has, I think, quite a bit of iron in it. So the elephants tend to have to pick that color. And the elephants there have long tusks, very long tusks. And you come back, you come up, drive towards Amboseli is another national park where you have the view of Mount Kilimanjaro. There are big herds of elephant. Again, there are two iconic elephants that were there. One can Google Tim. Tim had one of the longest tusks in Kenya, and Craig. Craig is still there. So Amboseli is another good place to see elephants. We have flamingos, and we have the cats also. On the other side, I was talking about Samburu is another very nice place to come and visit. Although in these places you can spend say 3 or 4 days, and then eventually one can go to the Mara. Olpajeta is another place for both the white rhino and the southern black rhino and the northern black rhino. The northern black rhino is the one that is critically endangered, and right now, as we speak, there are only two left in the world. So the southern white rhino is there and the black rhino is there. Before one can go to Masai Mara, those are circuits that one can explore. You got you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
breaking. Yeah.
I just wonder that you were speaking something more. So that was I was eager to
Okay.
listen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am in a Maryland where
Yeah.
Eric speaks about the heaven, and I'm
Yeah.
listening to the stories.
There's so much to see. There's so much to take photos of. Also the people also. Yeah.
Yeah, and could you say me something about the food and food about in Masai Mara, and about what about the people traveling from other parts like India?
The food basically with the dialects, every other tribe had their own preferred type of food. But when the British came in, they also introduced some food, and after that, people from India came in, and their food was so much appreciated. And we have a lot of Indian food here. Puri is here, chapati is here, samosa is here. So basically, every other household we take a lot of food from Indian, but the local food there is depending on every other tribe. They had their own type of food.
Okay, what about like what you generally prefer? Like if a Indian like me comes to your place, what
Yeah,
food that you eat, I should eat the local food.
there is a what we call ugali. Ugali is made from maize. You make it into flour and cook it until it becomes like a hard cake. That is eaten with different types of stew. We have vegetarian stew for it, and we have the beef side of it. And we also, depending on what part, we have also mashed potatoes. But mashed potatoes were mashed using green pumpkin leaves and beans. So that is another type of, again, very good food that we eat. But otherwise, a lot of food we have really adapted food from India.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but when I listen about your food, water came from my mouth. My
yeah.
mouth was filled up with water. Like I should be right away running to your place and having that food.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. I'll make sure once you're here, you'll have food cooked from my wife's pot.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
And so, so this was Eric, and I know that this is a very small story we came up.
yeah.
Even the time is not sufficient to talk to Eric about Masai Mara, Serengeti, and everything. Okay, Eric, you got a compliment again. I think you should read it out from Mr.
Thank,
Bikash Mahanti.
yeah, that's thanks, Eric, for the virtual tour of Mara and Kenya as a whole. Thank you very much.
So it was lovely talking. I don't think, but I thought I just spoke to Eric for 10 minutes and it was over. It was a dream that suddenly I woke up. I was in a dream. So be with us on Click Talks in Chitravitika, and you can send your suggestions, feedbacks, and queries on clicktalks@chitravitika.com. And don't forget to note Eric's number where you can contact him. And before we end something, so I have to say, Eric, Asante, and I forget it.
Asante sana.
Okay, Asanti Sana.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
one, I think maybe in the future, because this was the first day, maybe I was maybe not really prepared for it. But as we continue moving, if all opens up, I think we can do one that is live from one of our destinations, say Masai Mara, say Amboseli, and then we can arrange that, and so the viewers will not be looking at me, but I will be explaining, and they can be looking at the game, at the wildlife.
yeah, that's everybody's dream, and we are eagerly waiting on Click Talks and Chitravitika to talk to Eric live from the parks itself. And I don't think we are over yet. It's from Nilesh. And Nilesh says, "Hi, thanks, Eric. Fantastic information. Great photos. Love it."
Thank you very much.
So, some few words again. I don't think I'm going to leave you that soon.
Yeah.
So something, some more few words and an invitation. Please give an invitation in Swahili language first, then in English.
And then invitation is Karibu Kenya. Karibu Kenya. That is, you're welcome to Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
So that was a very sweet and small invitation given by Eric. Please accept it, and it's all there for you guys to visit Eric and Kenya, because Kenya without Eric is, I don't say it, but if I got an Eric, I should be with Eric. So lots of love, Eric.
Thank you very much. I've seen somebody has said we should invite Eric to that word.
Yeah, that's Mangala Jodi.
Okay.
Mangala Jodi. And
Yes.
Bhitar Kanika is there for, you can say, saltwater crocodiles.
Okay,
And
okay, okay,
Mawajodi is there for migratory birds. It's a bird paradise in my
yes,
state, is east side of India.
okay.
Yeah, we are connected, brothers. So maybe we'll invite Eric someday to India. And I
One more,
don't.
yeah, one more thing. I've always looked at the map of Africa, yeah, and
Yeah,
map of the map of India. I think if you look clearly, there is something that you can almost piece them together. It's like they drifted away, but if you bring it back, you can see they almost, if not, will fit. So I think we share a lot in common.
we do share everything, a lot more in common.
Yeah. What is the mystery? Someone is asking
What?
what is the mystery of wild-based migration.
Yeah.
So
Please,
yeah,
you have to answer.
yeah. The wild, the migration normally, it's it is the mystery is because of this really big herd of animals, thousands of them, but they move in looking for pasture. In between December and March, they are in a place called Ndutu. That is where they go to calf. So for us, we look at it as it is wonders. It is something that we would like really to know, but it is in their natural instincts to move and look for pasture because of the sheer numbers. So once they settle in place, they'll only be there for 2 months, and then the vegetation is gone, and they need to keep moving. And keep moving, they need to follow the rains for more greener pasture.
So hopefully that was a satisfied answer.
Yeah.
That answer was satisfied. Like I think Mr. Dhal got the answer for that.
Okay.
So, every time it needs to be exploring more and more. I don't think that people,
Yeah.
as we have spoken for 1 hour and 16 minutes, but I feel it's only at 10 minutes Eric came and said
Yeah.
something. So we wanted to hear a lot about that. So
Yeah.
sessions will be coming up soon, like Eric suggested and Eric initiated that he'll be next time going directly live on the park on Chitravitika. And Click Talks, I'll be speaking to Eric. Or Eric will be a host on Chitravitika next time on a live video.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So, Eric, be online and to end of this live session.
Yeah.
So, before I end up this live session, thank you, everybody. And I would like specially thank to War of Lenses and Bhubaneswar Photography to be associated and supporting us on these ventures, Heidi. And if there is any query or suggestions, please write to us on clicktalks@chitvitika.com. So stay tuned. More and more updates are coming up on wildlife on this. And thank you.